Hey everyone, Shawn and Savannah here at your service. And so we're going to start a nice little top 10 list here. And this is going to be really good for the stuff that you know, you'll encounter when you're helping me out once in a while. Because, you know, I like when you come and help out and give a few tips to our students and help them out. So
I try.
And well, you do a good job. And because, you know, you've heard all of the wisdom that I have to give out, and in either in these videos or personally.
Everyone always says, you know, you've probably heard this a few times, haven't you? I'm like, sure have.
Yeah, she's starting to say, oh, be quiet on already, right? So the top 10 things on what are the top 10 best ways to mess up a shot. All right, now the number 10 is one that we see a lot. It's make sure your grip is very, very relaxed. Hold it like a bird. Make sure there's no tension in the arms, right? And that's a recipe for disaster for the two of us.
Yeah.
And for so many of our students that, you know, don't realize that there's a massive collapse waiting for them when it comes to that, right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the tightest that you can grip the club, what's your grip pressure at address?
At least a 9.
At least a 9. Mo Norman says he draws blood out of his lead hand. And I remember I've had a lot of conversations with Mo, and grip pressure was a big one. So for him, it's like, okay, I'm going to tag and nail one shot into this 2x4. How the heck are you going to hold the hammer? Like a bird?
Firm.
Damn thing will fly out of your hands before you get a chance to deliver.
Yeah.
And if you're a tennis player, you've played some tennis.
Yeah.
If we're doing a power forehand from one back court to the next.
There's no way you can't hold it firm.
Exactly. Because you got to transmit the pressure from your body through the strings, through that tennis ball.
Otherwise, it just gets floppy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even with a tennis racket, when you have a very, you know, relaxed hand and it kind of flops, and then you tighten your hand and the thing goes to the moon.
Yeah.
So ball speed and distance is huge when it comes to grip. And how the heck are you going to get through thick rough?
You can't.
Right?
At least I can't.
So anatomically, just to secure you here, because it's so brainwashed and ingrained in so many of you, when you grip that club super firmly, show me that 9 out of 10 grip, do you feel that, doesn't it feel like it stops here?
Yeah.
It's like there was a little string that I pull on that string right there and I tighten those fingers around the club. Now it feels like when I put my hand, and usually when I put my hand around somebody's grip, I can tell right away if they're going to be able to pull off the shot or not.
Yeah.
And this right now feels like it's part of you. So this is a bone that you connect to the other bones of your body, and these are your portable ligaments, tendons, and muscles that wrap around that.
Yeah.
So will it prevent you from swinging freely from here?
No.
So imagine you had a 10-pound weight, a kettlebell at the end of your hand, and you're swinging that, you know, around your shoulder socket. Well, you got beautiful, you know, range of motion there, but you got to hold on to that thing so it doesn't come out and fly out.
Yeah.
So you got the range of motion, but you also have the solid grip pressure. So let's see it a couple of shots. Oh yeah, look at that compression. So there's that 170 plus yard, and you notice how in our little session from this morning we talked about that. That's 170 carry, 175 total.
Yeah.
Height was 111 feet in the air, and it was just, you know, 30 feet left of the flag.
Yeah.
And so you got this beautiful draw, and when you tightened up your grip, you noticed that your flight patterns tightened up as well.
Yeah.
And I just did a video on Premium where I talked about the same thing. We went and played that 9-hole course called Winter Park, just a gorgeous golf course. And my first 5 holes were kind of like, I had to hit iron off the first tee, did a great job.
Yeah.
And second hole, I almost jarred it. You know, I had the backstop and brought it back, made a nice birdie.
Yeah.
But then I had to hit the damn driver on a very tight hole.
Yeah.
And it went, you know, to the left and released you know, it didn't come back. I double crossed my fade, and I had to take a number on that one. And then I did the same thing with my 3-wood on the next hole, and then I realized I get to the hole after that, and I had a 3-iron in my hands, and I kind of double crossed that one as well.
Yeah.
And right away, because I stayed with my task, and I wanted to deliver to the target, and I stayed focused there, and my brain says, listen, something's collapsing.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had to double time that grip because I haven't been on grass in a while, and it's Bermuda. And when I'm out on the golf course, I get a little more assertive.
Yeah.
So for many of you, you get a little more tentative. You want to do the opposite. You want to freaking clamp down, and you want to open up the machine, and which is one of the titles on our premium channel. Open up the machine when you're on the golf course. And as soon as I clamped down, you noticed, right?
Yeah.
The last 4 holes, I'm 2 under on the last 4, and everything just went like that, and I was dialed in. And then we played Duran Golf Club the following Friday, and I didn't miss a fairway.
No, you didn't.
And all of my drives were 280 plus carry, and I didn't miss a fairway.
Yeah.
So it was a huge revelation,
Yeah.
right? As far as, or a huge reconfirmation for me.
Yeah.
And I realized, yeah, Mo was right.
Yeah.
Mo, when he said I draw blood, I understand why now. And it's just amazing what it does for the accuracy.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to clamp down, but it's very important that your grip be sound, right?
Yeah.
So take your grip up here and face that way. So there we go. So notice if you hinge up and down. Now, as you're hinging up and down, nothing's coming out of your hands, is it?
No.
So for those of you who let go of the club at the top of the backswing, here's a couple of things that I want you to keep in mind. If you let go of the club at the top of the swing and the club collapses against you, and that's one of the things that I love watching her for that, and it's something I like to model myself after, because I never had a swing that nice before, is I talk about her as her javelin throw. Because you got so much width in your throw. And there's no way you can get that width if your grip's falling apart.
No.
So for many of you who grip down, it'll feel like your swing's getting more compact.
But it's not.
But it's not. It's just not collapsing anymore. That's the huge difference. So we don't want collapses here because you're trying to keep your arms like jello, right? And you think, oh, I need to, and then all of a sudden things are collapsing. Yeah, it's okay if that lead arm, bends a little bit.
Yeah.
But it can't be collapsed. It's got to have some tone in there.
Yeah.
So let me see a couple more swings. Beauty. Look at that. Gorgeous draw, coming right back. Another 170 shot. Beauty. Look at the height on that. So for those of you who are looking for a little bit of a scenery, go ahead and do a replay on that. Yeah. So 160. There it is. So it starts just left of the green. Look at that beautiful draw coming right back on to the left center of the green. And let's do one more. Do it again. There it is. Look at the height on that. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
To hit a shot that high at 170 for you is going to be one mother of a weapon. I mean, I can't wait for it. That's going to be amazing. You're going to be a killer. I mean, that's going to shave a couple of strokes off your handicap, and we're already down to a 4.
Yeah.
So, what were you saying, Sav?
That your grip pressure does so much for your focus, because if you're not holding on to it tight enough and it kind of falls apart in your backswing, then your focus automatically goes to, oh shit, my grip's falling apart. How am I supposed to, and then everything else goes to...
I mean, the target just disappears.
Yeah.
And then you're left with, what? What happened? Right?
So if you're constantly worrying about your grip coming out of your hands, then how are you supposed to focus?
Exactly. And I see that way too often where somebody is letting go at the top, or really allowing those arms to collapse too much at the top because they've been told you got to be really relaxed and you got to have hold it like a bird or a tube of toothpaste, which is it's so false. you know, I can't stress how important this is, that, you know, you maintain structural integrity in your swing. And it has to be able to follow you. And because I've got, you know, fast twitch muscles in my swing, you'll notice that I'll go smoothly to the top. So I'm just clamping down right now. The circulation is leaving my hands, and it feels like I can actually stay with my shot so nicely.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that you'll see out of my, look at that, I hit the same distance you did. 175 carry with my 7-iron.
It's okay, mine's a super iron, so I cheated a little.
Yeah, thanks, made me feel a lot better. So, and we'll show you one real quick here. So, secure grip. I'm getting ready to go that way, and I noticed that when my grip stays secure, my posture, like you said, because I don't have any short circuits, I noticed that I was having a hard time making it all the way to my target when I was struggling for those 2 holes. So now that my grip is nicely clamped down, oh, do you hear that?
Smoked.
Let's have a look at that one. Lovely, lovely. So
Casually just flew the green.
So that's one of the things I realized, and that was tagged right in the center of the face. There's that. See, the trajectory is a little different with mine. And that flag's at 170 right there. I flew basically over the flag stick.
Yeah.
Do that one more time. There we go. So you see how that started to the right, came right back. So the compression that I'm getting out of that shot is a lot more sound. Feels like I'm squeezing the ball better, and it feels like I'm able to get through the ball even better, that's exactly what we're looking for, right?
Yeah.
So if you're struggling getting through the ball, you have a tendency to hit fat shots, you have a tendency to feel that things are a little too ploppy, then you know, just clamp down on that sucker and really feel that you've got that secure grip. And like we said, when you're hinging up and down, nothing's coming apart. And in my finish, you look at how my hands are super secure into the finish here and super secure into the backswing. And if we put it back into our little perpetual motion drill, and that's one of the things I realized when I was doing my perpetual motion drill and I was hitting my shots, it feels like something was kind of falling apart there. And I'm going, okay, I gotta grip down even more. So there's so look at perpetual motion drill, Shawn Clement's, an oldie but goodie. And then you're gonna see best way to shift weight, take a walk.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's that same perpetual motion drill hitting your shots, and feel how secure your grip needs to be when you're performing that drill. And that's exactly what you need to have when you're doing your shots.
Yep.
Appreciate your help.
No problems.
See you next week.